Did you
Got
hear
it. Yeah.
that? Recording in progress. Okay. So, Destiny, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, I'm just very curious because I thought it was a typo, is that you spell your name with two I's at the end. Okay. Tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about that.
I mean, I don't know why my mom decided to spell my name with two I's. I kind of wish she wouldn't because nobody knows how to spell it. and and I've thought about changing my name just because nobody knows how to spell it. But
Uh-huh.
my
Yeah.
mom my mom gave us all kind of weird names. There's Destiny, there's Corbin, Sierra, Amaya, Declan. So
Okay.
we all have unique names.
Yeah. So mom pretty creative too?
Yeah, I guess she's pretty creative. I mean, she's not like she's not artist creative like I am, but like she does sing and stuff. And she's definitely very smart.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe that was one way to express her creativity, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I
Or
mean,
being unique in her own way, maybe.
she gave me two, well, my middle name is Morgan Dash Ashley. So she
Okay.
gave me two middle names as one middle name, which is very creative.
Yeah, yes, very creative. Okay. So, the way I look at our journey or our narrative, or you and I are gonna um approach the coaching thing from the perspective of looking at, your north and south node. At least that's how we're starting off.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some career struggles that you're having, not
Right.
where you want to go. But how I often look at like our whole journey, our trajectory is at some point looking at all of the people that have been in our lives that are part of our narrative, our drama, all of that. So it'd be curious to see if and where mom comes in with the creativity and how that has impacted you and your journey, including your own, struggles. And again,
Right.
You and I have had a couple of discussions on maintaining your privacy in terms of you share what is appropriate for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you also know that we're recording and that I may be putting this on my YouTube channel.
Right.
I'll just keep reminding you, just share what is appropriate for you. Okay.
Really, I'm an open book though, because like even with other areas of life, like I'm always sharing on Facebook what I'm going through to, all of my friends, and everyone's like, wow, I really appreciate how like open and honest you are about this stuff. And I'm like, I want other people to know that this stuff happens, like, stuff with abuse and trauma.
Okay.
So I don't mind talking about things,
Okay.
especially if it helps me understand. And I know like a lot of other people might be afraid to talk about certain things, and it would help them understand how it could affect them too.
Yeah, absolutely. So you truly are a healer in your own way, right? Offering your pain, I would say like repurpose pain.
Yeah.
Offering your pain up as an example, hopefully of, triumphing and reusing your pain to help others.
Exactly.
A lot of us in the healing worlds feel the same way. So also just to say, I don't know your history. I don't know about the abuse. I don't know anything about that. So you for kind of being more willing and open. But again, this isn't counseling.
Right.
Counseling skills, right? But if things come up and you feel it's appropriate to talk about at the time, we can. And Destiny, I want you to know, if something came up in our coaching session and I have you recording, okay, and you decide before I put it out there, I really don't feel comfortable, like that came up and out and I don't want it out there,
Mhm.
it will be. Okay. You are maintaining complete control over that aspect. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So let's get into the fun part.
Yay.
Okay. So I sent you, I just kind of wanted to connect to your energy, or to see if I could connect to your energy without really talking to you a whole bunch about what is going on in your life, or just who you are, or, so I sent you a recording. It was about an hour long,
Mhm.
generally in the format that I use on my channel, for looking at North and South Node, like what's going on. So give me some feedback. I know you sent me some notes.
My energy must have been gleaming because you caught on to it.
Did
And you were
I?
like,
Okay,
all
good.
right, this is Destiny's energy.
Okay. What
Um,
seemed to resonate the most, or
oh gosh. I mean, I guess, we talked a lot about, or I told you in my reflection that the note about how my mom has like really affected things, and how I need to do a lot of inner child work to be able to be open to being my authentic self. Like, that was very accurate. And one of the biggest things that I've been kind of reflecting on in the past few days is how, like, my North Node is about learning to enjoy the journey, not the destination. And
right?
I'm struggling to to accept that concept, because I have always been like, well, once I get here, then I can do this, or after this happens, then I can start to enjoy life.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know how to enjoy the journey, and sometimes I don't even know how to relax. So
Which would
you
be
know,
really in keeping with your Gemini South Node, right?
mhm,
Just in case this is up on YouTube at some point, and
mhm,
watching, your North Node is in Sagittarius and your South Node is in Gemini, right? So being unable to relax, like the more shadow side of the Gemini piece.
right,
There's nothing bad about your South Node. It's just an imbalance, or there's the shadow that's kind of lurking back there that we have.
right, like kind of the opposite of the North Node.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to learn how to do things differently this time.
Mhm.
So that makes perfect sense. Okay. So what else came up for you?
I mean, you hit it on the head when you were like, oh, you spend a lot of time overthinking. We talked about before we started the video that I stayed up all night because I was overthinking, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not a new thing. That always happens.
Mhm.
I spend a lot of time in my brain, and a lot of things I don't do because I'm afraid, or I wonder, what's going to happen. And
Mhm.
I just I get lost in my brain.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, like, is it the what ifing, or is it maybe ruminating about past things? What do you seem to get stuck in your head about?
It is some what ifing, but a lot of it is ruminating about the past, because like I don't want to repeat the past. And
Okay.
I know we don't ever unlearn lessons. So if I'm still self-aware, then I probably won't repeat the past, but I don't want to feel like the same rejections, I guess, or failures that I've experienced in the past, because like, especially with career things, I've tried a lot of things and
Okay.
a lot of things don't work out, and I don't want things to not work out. But
Yeah.
then
And so what I'm hearing is that you think that if the certain choices that you've made, if they don't work out, that correct me if I'm wrong, that you're feeling that they're failures, then
yeah.
that you've failed in some way. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and yet your North Node might say something very different.
North Node might say you tried something new and you learned something.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it's part of the adventure, perhaps. Right? Okay. So yeah, I know it's hard to, that is for your counseling, right? But
Right.
I are looking at, well, how can we, and I am not your counselor.
I totally
For sure. Yes, but I want everybody to know, like, this is not we're not doing that. But you were referred to me by your counselor. So a lot of that stuff might be your work in your counseling, but we're focusing
for sure.
on giving you some guidance, maybe some other options, some different ways of looking at your process.
Yeah.
You want to go using the cards and your own higher, wiser self, right? As I told you, my why is not to be a reader per se, although I enjoy it. I really think it's important that we all understand that we do have a higher, wiser self and a connection to whatever, it doesn't even matter what we call it, right?
Intuition.
That's right. Intuition, spirit. We might be doing this today. I might be using subconscious, collective unconscious. It doesn't matter what it is, but I want you to know that you have that available to you all the time, and to strengthen your trust in yourself, even if, just as a person who wants to have everything like for sure and certain, as do I.
Yeah.
Even if a certain choice doesn't work out, we might want to look at more about, okay, so if it didn't work out, what did it teach me that's helping me advance further along my journey, rather than that was a failure, a flop, a rejection.
Right.
I'm a less than person, right? I can't trust myself.
Whoops.
Yeah. Okay. What else did you get from your initial reading, which I will be posting up as well if I post these. Okay.
Right. And I really did get like a lot of repeating cards. I don't remember all of them, but that was crazy how many repeating cards that came out. And I think I kind of take it as a sign in a way that like I'm maybe found the right place for some of these things, because I get like a lot of repeating numbers in life. And sometimes I take repeating numbers as a sign that I don't know if I'm headed in the right direction or whatnot. But
synchronicity.
Yeah.
I kind of kind of call it a wink between me and spirit that I'm on the right track, or it's coming into alignment for me. And it's interesting because I am seeing in pulling my own cards, just for myself, or different times I sit down and do a little reading, that repeating cards are happening repeatedly. Like, I pulled 3 different decks. I did a year long, what did I say? Like a year ahead, look ahead reading for myself. And I used 3 different decks and pulled the Emperor 3 different times, the Empress twice.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I agree. You probably are in, a very synchronistic, potentially karmic portal time, a really great space for you to be examining or learning about this.
Right. I think a lot of people are going through that right now, especially with like COVID and people having to spend more time with themselves. They're like, oh, maybe I have stuff to unpack.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect timing, right? For all of us during these times. Okay. Anything else that you want to share with regards to the reading that you got?
Not really, mostly because I'm still waking up and trying to remember everything.
Yeah.
I'm mostly just like super curious about how like the North and the South node affect things, because it really blows my mind how I can kind of relate to some of those struggles and strengths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you want to know how it affects things. I think for me personally, I'm not an astrologer.
Mhm.
Learning, I recommend these books here, which I might as well show you for reading, and I will be using them just to refer back
Mhm.
to Jan Spiller, Astrology for the Soul. I don't know if you can read that. Is that
Yeah.
you? Okay. Well, this is Astrology for the Soul. This little book I found when I was going through sort of what I call my shitstorm, if you will. Oh God. I'm gonna do the math here. 22. No, it's probably like 18 years ago, maybe. And this was old then. It was a used book then, I think. Discovering Your Soul Mission. Like 15 and 18 years ago, by Linda Brady and Evan St. Leifer, I think is how you say it. I will shoot you pictures of these so that you have them. And
Okay.
North Node Astrology, Rediscovering Your Life Direction and Soul Purpose by Elizabeth Spring, who is also a Jungian. She's either a Jungian, let's see, it says, has a degree in psychology with an emphasis in the work of Carl Jung. She is an astrologer, psychotherapist, and writer living near Newport. So these, are my reference points, along with some others. Maybe I'll show you some others in a different session. But I also love Pam Gregory, and she's on YouTube. You can follow her if you want to understand more exactly what the North Node and the South Node is. But for me, and doing my coaching, we're looking at, okay, so I seem to have these patterns and these struggles and these things. I can't understand why this keeps happening to me, right? Or why do I keep doing the same thing over and over again? If you were a counseling client, we would be exploring all of that from a different perspective in some ways. Okay.
Right.
We're approaching it differently. As a coaching client, we're going to be moving forward and saying, okay, well, if these certain things are coming out of your South Node, certain traits from the South Node, certain imbalances within, for you, Gemini, or shadow aspects, then what are we supposed to be harnessing, learning about, and kind of increasing in strength from our North Node?
Right.
Helping us to balance all of this out.
Right. Like learning how to lean into your chart a little bit.
It's almost like if we were doing a look into even dialectics sometimes. I don't know if you're familiar with DBT therapy, looking at strengths, what are your strengths? And this is just a different way, at least for me, to, to kind of explore, who you are, and
right.
shore up, and make peace with some of the, shadow aspects, integrate those, and use North Node direction or strengths in order to help you make different choices, maybe, we'll say, in trying to meet your goal.
I'll learn a lot about myself.
Yeah, you can learn a lot about yourself, for sure. Okay, so let's just kind of like get into the fun part and what we're going to do today.
Okay.
Tell me what you want. I have an idea, but tell me what you want to look at right now for today.
Well,
You don't have
it's
to
funny.
come up with a game
North
plan,
Node.
just in general.
Yeah, it's funny that the North Node is about like your soul mission, because like that's basically what I'm after. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what I've always asked that. What's my purpose? What am I doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to know, you want to have some sense of certainty that you're going in the right direction so you don't make another mistake.
Right.
It's
There's all certainty though. I've kind of trying to come to terms with that there's not really ever going to be a 100% certainty.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm at least curious, to find more about, I guess, like you said, my strengths, so that I know that whatever that I do, at least I'm going to be using some of those strengths.
Yeah. Okay. So let's explore. We're going to try to connect you to your higher wise self. Again, I'm not necessarily doing a reading here. Okay.
Mhm.
We're going to try to connect you to your higher, wiser self. I will pull some cards, or, I like jumpers. So I'll probably do that just to sort of like give us a little bit of a framework where this is the part where we kind of let go.
Mhm.
Okay. And we explore from whatever comes out. And then I'm going to allow you to pull cards and I'll show you how we do that.
Okay.
But so the first thing I thought we would do is use these, what do I do with the book? Well, it's from, it's under my computer. It's an Archetypes deck from Kim Kranz. Okay. These are really, really very deep, very profound. It's a very deep and profound deck. But I just want to look at like what might come up for you as potentially like an overarching theme about this with regards to this dilemma. And then I'm going to have to juggle my laptop here to get to the book.
Yeah.
That wasn't too smart. Okay. Anyway. So let's see. It's like an overarching theme for Destiny. This deck is very heavy and can be difficult to get the card to jump out. But
I mean, I imagine the circular deck would be difficult to shuffle too.
it really is. But there we go. Okay, well, at the bottom, we have, this is very interesting. We have the vow. Let you look at that image. What do you see there?
Kind of looks like setting something free.
Okay.
It looks like the bird is like flying away or soaring.
It's hard. There's I can't even tell what it almost looks like two hands. They're doing this around two hands that are doing this. So so yes, this bird does seem to be flying free here. Okay. So we'll see what comes up around that. That's at the bottom of the deck, but what came out interesting is Kairos. Okay. And the Bardo.
They're both eyes.
Right? We have, so what do you make of that? They're both eyes.
I mean, it's hard to make sense of just eyes, but they do the eye, a window into your soul. So that's basically the only thing I can get from that at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we'll just leave those there and come back to them.
Okay.
very interesting. And you know what? I think I'll just go ahead and grab the book out from under there right now before all right. So we'll refer back to that. Now, I have another deck. This is a Doreen Virtue deck. And this is, I believe this deck is called Life Purpose, but it's something about careers, life purpose. I don't have the box anymore, but let's see what'll come out here. So, well, that was a big plot. All right, we have teaching.
Okay, teaching.
Okay. We have talk to your angels. Ooh, look at this little message. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance.
That's appropriate.
That sounds about right. Okay. Music. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others.
I do love music. I love to dance and just music in general.
Yeah. I mean, and you have, I can't remember if I was already recording when we had this discussion or not, but you talked about your mom being a singer.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. And I talked about how I find it really interesting to look at all of the players in our own drama practice. Okay. So your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. Okay. Have you ever thought of getting into any of these, like teaching or music, or how that might apply to your career path?
Yes. So for a while I wanted to be a teacher, like a kindergarten teacher, but I didn't really think that was gonna work out for me because I like to dye my hair blue and I have a bunch of tattoos and piercings, and unfortunately lots of school settings look down on that and you're not allowed to do that. And I'm like, that doesn't really allow me to be myself. But I also think it wouldn't really help me keep stress low. So I didn't end up pursuing the teaching. The music I really wanted to do when I was younger, but my mom was always like, that's not going to make you any money. So as a career, I've never actually pursued it, but it's something that I do love. And like, I've wanted to learn more about like how to make my own music, even if it's not something I do as a career. And, it's just something I do for fun. Like, learning how to play the piano or the guitar. And then like I have a karaoke machine, so I just sing
Oh, we're fellow karaoke queens. Okay. Yeah, so it'll be really interesting to again, I will take pictures of all of the cards that come out and send them to you for you to keep. And if you can print out the images, that'd be great for you to keep in a journal or a file. Okay, so we can keep a record of our journey through.
right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Teaching for sure would be connected to past life, potentially, right? Well, I'm saying right to you, but for Gemini South Node. Also this one, and connected to both your North Node would be teaching, and this one, study. Reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career.
And I also love to learn.
And you also love to learn. Oh, okay. Good.
If my node is in Sagittarius, I would love to learn.
That's right.
a recurring theme. Like I love to try lots of new things, and I watch lots of weird YouTube videos because I'm always learning something new.
Okay. Yeah. Are you, I'm just looking at the bottom of the deck here. What do you seem to be most interested in?
I look a lot into history, art, for some reason, true crime, don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly like different art techniques and products. Follow lots of people that do music, different physical activities like with the aerial and like gymnastics kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
kind of like instead of doing the things that I might be interested in, I just watch other people do them.
Watch other people. Well, that's really many, many years ago. Again, about the same time frame as I was saying, I got that book. So 18 or so years ago, I joined a meetup group to just be with other what I called other
Like
that liked astrology, and it just happened to be the meetup group was astrology and tarot. I couldn't get tarot at the time, but
right.
then I got divorced about 4 or 5 years ago, and I thought I just don't want to date. I just want to sit in this. And I long story short, I ended up coming across tarot readers, and I was like, what? There are tarot readers out here on YouTube, like, coming across my country music, sad, tear in my beard songs. And that's how I really got it, was watching reader after reader after reader. And I started understanding like themes and patterns and just different things that I don't know why way back then I couldn't get it. But and then I was like, I might as well just start reading and seeing how I do. And there's so much more to learn, but I think that's a very valuable way to learn. It might be
dip your toes in a little bit.
dip your toes in. Yeah. And for learning and studying, you said something, now it kind of left the building here, but I do want to say, like, with the Gemini South Node, I think learning is definitely more mental. It's more reading, it's more study, it's more like that book kind of thing where you have like a certain sense of certainty. Whereas I feel like with the Sagittarius North Node, might be the learning is more experiential. If I try this, what happens? If I do this, what happens? And what do I learn? Right. And so that
right.
I could go into a whole thing around wise mind, I would say, but this is two different ways of learning is what your access
right.
is.
Hands-on versus just looking and reading.
Yes. And thinking that necessarily there has to be this certain right way, right? Or this certain right thing. So very interesting. Okay. And then your final one that popped out is light and love. Your purpose is to bring divine healing, light, and love to the world.
That's not the first time I've gotten that in a purpose reading. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like, so I watch a bunch of tarot readers on YouTube too. And I don't always look at like the purpose ones, but the few times that I have, it's like you're a healer, you're very intuitive. And we talked a little bit earlier about like sharing your experiences and stuff like that. And so I get that a lot. I'm just like, that's not me. I don't know. How am I supposed to help? I can't even help myself.
Well, maybe that is how you're going to help people, right?
Yeah.
Is in doing your work. Wow. I don't know. I think this artist and working with children thing is potentially going to be a powerful part of your journey. And again, whether you choose to go down that path
Right.
or not, uh, I'm just seeing cards come out that are spot on to what we've been talking about and what, kind of your issues are. But your final card that was at the bottom of the deck is trust. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path.
And one of my biggest dreams has always been to be an artist. Like, I also am a writer. I spent a lot of time writing when I was younger. Like, I would write 10,000 words a day and just
Really?
like telling stories and
Mhm.
and whatnot. And that's kind of what I wanted to do in the beginning. I was like, I want to be an artist. Like, even if it's not just doing one thing, even if I have to do like multiple avenues, like side jobs or whatnot, that's what I wanted to do. But, society and everybody talked me out of it.
Hmm. Yeah. That
I'm out of it.
society and our parents talking us out of it, right? So, that is those two pieces, society, and I think you just said mom talked,
Mhm.
and mom was concerned, like, you have to make money, right?
Yeah.
That's part of my journey as well. And I had to fight and claw and scratch to get to do this, right? Fight and claw and scratch with my own soul and
Mhm.
against society and, my parents who really were more concerned about, can you make enough money to support yourself doing the things that you want to do? And certainly this, card reading wasn't necessarily, but definitely being a helper, a teacher, all these different things. I wanted to be a first woman priest. I wanted to, go into psychology, various things. And I finally, way after 40, decided, it's like time. I keep one obstacle after another. I have to choose what I want to do. And it was hard. But two major players then in my journey were society, culture, what we've been told is how to do something, and
Mhm.
my parents. Okay. So we'll be looking at that with you. And I didn't read to you teaching here, but it says you inspire young people to learn.
Aw.
Hard. Right. So you've got that. But then when I look at the bottom of the deck, so I pulled, trust. I think this is going to be huge for you in terms of even just your purpose. Okay.
Right.
Underneath that, then we have children. Once again, your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. And underneath that, we have artists. Engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. I think you and I know what that might be.
That's all fitting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like next to art, I have always wanted to be a mom. And I don't know if the card is talking about my own children or other children, but that is something that I've always wanted. I'm just not to yet.
You know what? I think we could do a full reading just by going down this. I mean, it's crazy. I'll just keep going. Well, we do have family. Loving your friends and family is central to your life purpose. Okay. And this is where I'm going to stop. Like I could really do a full reading with just how these are
Coming out.
crazy. you are able, this final one I'm going to pull, and I'll let you talk about it a little bit, is
Okay.
oracle cards. You are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others.
Well, that one's funny. That reminds me, I think I remember I told you that I had, when we very first started talking, I had told you that I had gone to a reader like a few years ago, and that was kind of like my first step into therapy, even though reading isn't necessarily therapy. And at a certain point, I went to her for a reading, and she was like, "You don't even need me. Like you just need to read the cards for yourself." Because without her even telling me what the cards were saying, I was like, oh, I could see like that could be telling me this. And she was like, you don't need me anymore. You just need to learn how to listen to yourself.
There you go. Right? This is going to be huge. Huge. Trusting yourself.
Trusting. That's a hard one.
Trusting the process, trusting the adventure. That's right. Okay. So now I've got some cards here. All right, let's take a look at, it's up to you. I've got Tarot of the Mystical Moments. This was a deck that I used in your reading. And also have just the Smith Rider-Waite deck. So it's up to you. Which deck would you like to use as the main deck for your reading, and which would you like to use for clarifiers? Up to you.
Let's use the Mystical Moments for the main one, because I really love the pictures that were popping up. They're so pretty.
They are. They're amazing. By Katrin. Katrin Wellstein, I believe is how you say that. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is move I've already pre-shuffled. I cleansed and cleared the decks. I've said my prayers and intentions. While I'm doing this, I'd like you to just take some, couple of minutes to be quiet and ground yourself and set your intentions internally and connect to anything that you feel is a helper, guide, support for your higher self.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Okay. I'm going to put these cards aside here. I'll try to. It looks or seems that, and you've already said it, but maybe something that is really influencing you and your feelings of stuckness maybe is that you have been through a lot, and you are potentially more afraid of re-experiencing the hurt, disappointment, struggle than you are in understanding how much you have gained and learned about yourself in the struggle.
Yeah. Just a bit.
Yep. Okay. All right. So okay, one more shuffle and let's start it. Okay. So I took a little webinar class, whatever you want to call it, and really loved the approach that was taught. It's kind of a modified form of the Celtic cross, but I liked how he taught us to name, I guess, the placements. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so the first card is going to be you, okay, also called like the signifier. So it's going to be you overall, Destiny. Okay. What I'm going to do, again, this is a technique that he taught. I'm going to run my finger down the deck. Okay. Are you feeling pretty grounded right now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to run my finger down the deck, and I'm going to ask you to tell me when to stop. Okay. Based on your intuition, whatever, just trust it.
Okay.
Trust. Okay. So now we're going to pick a card that represents you in general overall. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Stop.
Okay. Well. All right. We have the Magician.
I like that swan, like how she's holding the swan.
What comes up for you when you see that? How she's holding the swan?
Oh, it just seems very maternal and nurturing.
Okay. And how do you relate to that? If this is the card that represents you overall in general, what might this be telling you about yourself?
I mean, it also kind of looks like she's letting herself shine because she's got all these things swirling around her.
What's the sense that you get?
Well, someone who's just very caring and compassionate and comfortable in themselves. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
I'm still learning to embrace that myself, but
okay. Yeah. She do you recognize that that's in there? That you're compassionate, caring, nurturing?
yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. She absolutely is. And she is the magician, which traditionally says, I have everything that I need to move through the fool's journey, my own journey, and create the life, a full, authentic life that I'm meant to lead, right? So the way I see this card is that I'm the magic and the magician for this particular deck, right? Because she's popping out of the magician's hat, but she also is the magician.
That's true. Normally when they pop out the hat, like something else comes up, like roses, but it's her.
It's her. Yeah. The magician. I am the magic. Okay. So that is you, or that is to signify you in general. Now we're going to pick a card to signify you in this moment. Okay. And with regards to, this issue. Okay. Maybe it'd be good for you to say, what is the issue as you see it? What are we working on right now? Just do you know?
Really trusting myself and trusting my intuition, because I could say career and blah, 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 but everything really does come down to not doubting myself, doubting whatever it is that I'm choosing to think about or pursue.
Okay. Very good. A card to represent you around this issue.
Stop.
Okay. Page of Cups.
She looks like she's relaxing.
Okay.
Connecting with nature.
Mm.
Grounding, maybe.
Okay. And what is the sense that you get? Or how does that relate to you, do you think?
We talked a little bit about overthinking, like maybe that is me taking a step away from the overthinking and grounding more, and just being.
Just being.
Mhm.
I kind of like that interpretation. I'll I guess I did not share, on this recording, just in case it does go up on my channel. I might as well share with the audience that when I work with a client in coaching, doing this intuitive coaching, it's very collaborative. My intention is not to be the reader, but to help you to connect, right, to your higher, wiser self. And then to also provide you with a little bit more information as well about the card. Okay. So this is the Page of Cups, right? And the pages are beginners. They're often young or starting off sort of energy. And the Page of Cups energy is emotions, right? Things that we dream about, we wish for, we love. And, she's staring at this little fish, right? So there's this very sort of playful, fantastical, sense that, she's maybe, like you, sort of dreaming about what she wants.
I wish I were a fish and could just swim wherever I want.
Oh yeah, or maybe you want to be the fish. Give me the stuff. Okay, all right. So let's see. Now we're gonna look at. Now we're gonna look at the card that is crossing you. So that will be, what's the issue right now? What is impacting this energy here? This young, brand new, very artistic. I know you're a Pisces. This is very Pisces-esque card. It's the dreamer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's crossing you then.
Stop.
Okay. Yeah. This is the King of Pentacles, but it is the female or the feminine version. Okay. In this particular deck, she has female versions of the King and the Emperor. You can't, as a reader, I could pull out and just keep the ones that I want in. So I could make them all male. I could make them all female. For me, I leave them all in. I want to see the male. I want to see the female. I want them all to come out if it's appropriate, because
That's really
feminine energy, right? Feminine does not have to mean female embodiment, but it could. So we have the King of Pentacles. Pentacles is also coins, stones. It's earth. It's what's manifesting, right? Money, job, things I can touch and hold. So what comes up for you here?
She looks very poised, like she's trying to keep up appearances and be nice and pretty and perfect.
And how do you relate to that?
I mean, I'm a perfectionist, so
Are
if
you?
if I don't think something is going to be perfect, I don't really want to try because I don't want to
Because you don't want to what?
make mistakes. Or have have people say, oh, Destiny did this or she did that and didn't turn out.
Yeah, what other people think. Okay. So that might be inhibiting you, that what other people think from the King of Pentacles is very successful business person. They have planted their seeds, they've tilled the soil, they've done the work, they've done everything that they need to reach this level of success. And you're right, if you're concerned about what other people think, you won't be able to trust yourself, certainly. And right. It would be hard, right? To move forward, to do what you want to do, what's right for you, what you're thinking about. There's your cute little dream. Is that enough?
Right. And another thing it brings to mind, like in you saying the description, is like when you're successful, you have a lot further to fall.
Ooh, okay. So how does that impact you? When you're successful, you have a lot further to fall.
No, there's just it puts a pressure on things like if I'm this important person, people would be looking up to me, and am I, worth looking up to? Just a lot of pressure.
Yeah. That's interesting. Oh, are you still there? Okay.
I'm
getting a phone call.
They need to stop.
You need to stop the recording?
No, they need to stop calling me, and it doesn't let me end the call.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's totally okay. I just want to make sure that you're still there and
I'm back.
away. But yeah, we've got about 25 more minutes here. So it's okay if people are calling, but okay. So, that's really interesting. So we know that, when you feel like or afraid of success, we can do a lot of overthinking and self-sabotaging, behaviors. I'm curious, what would make that feel threatening? Success would feel threatening because if I fall, what? Or if I fail, or if I succeed?
I would disappoint people and have to start all over, maybe. Mostly disappointing people is what comes to mind.
Okay. You do not have to talk about this at all. I'm not really, for time's sake. Maybe just don't, but you can, confirm or think about or reflect on. Like, where and when have you experienced disappointing others? Or when have you experienced rejection, maybe from being successful or shining bright?
Right. I don't know that I have ever disappointed somebody, actually, but since I'm the oldest of all of my siblings, I've always the pressure to be like and be a good example for them. And I have experienced rejection from success. Like in high school, I became the captain of a cheerleading team, and people would spread rumors about me and be mean to me because I did something that they wanted to do, but they didn't achieve. Like I got a higher score than them, so they were jealous and they were really mean.
Yeah. Yeah. That's painful.
Yeah.
And of course, those kinds of experiences stay with us, right?
Mhm.
And can become blocks, along the path.
Mhm.
So let's see what else comes up. Okay. Let's look at, let's choose a card to represent what you are conscious of. Okay, so you kind of really talked about it a little bit, but let's see if we can get another card. What you are conscious of with relationship to this issue. Okay, I need to trust myself.
Stop.
Justice. What comes up as you look at her?
I guess I'd be conscious of needing to maintain some sort of balance. She's sitting on the edge of a building? That's like, hmm.
She has a sword. Okay. Swords have two sides, two edges.
Mhm.
It's completely balanced.
Mhm.
She's sitting very high up, right? So she has a higher sort of vantage point or perspective.
Right.
This is also a card from the major arcana, which is, kind of could be pointing towards some of the things that we talked about earlier about, you kind of in the right, right timing. Like when we talk about karma or the north and south node, when I say justice, this is one of the things that I think of. Also, that there are consequences that come out of action. The actions that we take or that we don't take create just natural consequences, and it's not a good thing, it's a bad thing. It's like if I slam my head on this desk, the consequence is yeah, right? I mean, unless I'm like super martial art guy girl and I can do it, but I'm not, right?
Right.
This is like a higher perspective. So I don't know, that's what I'm getting. Looking at her, looking down. Okay, she's looking down at the images here. So what might that mean for you?
I guess that would mean learning to see it from a bigger picture and keep all these things in mind when I'm up so high.
Okay. When you're up so high, what do you mean by that?
I'm super successful. Like if I ever got to a point where I'm really successful, that I would need to keep a higher perspective. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain.
Okay.
Keep the trust and the intuition in mind when I'm at that point.
Okay.
So that I keep things balanced.
Keep things, okay, yeah, keep things in perspective.
I know when, like, if you're walking a tightrope or if you're roller skating and you keep looking down and thinking about what's down beneath you, you end up falling or losing your.
Yeah. So if you keep a higher perspective, then what would that look like for you just in every day? as we're moving towards trusting yourself or making choices that are right for you? Shining bright.
What would that look like? I don't know. It might look like realizing that like a decision that I make today, even if it like a small decision, might not mean that I'm gonna topple downward. Like if it's something small,
Mm,
might just be a passing moment. Like it doesn't mean I'm gonna fail. And like today
uh-huh.
isn't gonna mean tomorrow won't be good.
Right. Okay. Yeah, very good. So that's, interesting, Lee. I was kind of thinking, well, we're also exploring your north and south node. And maybe from a higher perspective, we're being asked to really look at these experiences that you've had, here or where you are right now, and the way that you, as part of, your karmic journey or balancing out,
Mhm.
right, of your north and south node, that some of these things, that people or the friends or the frenemies that were judging you for being successful, were also a part of your drama and your narrative. And if you want to reframe it, you could say, like, they helped me to XYZ, right? They helped me to get
Right.
to blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's see. Do reading. Okay. Let's pick what is in your subconscious around this. Okay.
Stop.
So this is kind of, wow, you are getting a lot of majors here. Okay. Okay, we've got the Hierophant.
It's kind of hard to think of how that could relate to my subconscious.
Mm. So let go of the what's in my subconscious, and just allow a message to come up from this card. Okay.
Okay.
So we can pretend that you're at a museum and you
Mhm.
are looking at this image, and I want you to talk to me about it. What do you think the artist is trying to convey? What is coming up for you here? Okay.
Mm. I guess it reminds me of like owls kind of portray wisdom sometimes, and someone's trying to get in touch with some wisdom or speak to someone that's older and has, more experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how does that relate to you?
I guess that's kind of what I'm doing right now is talking experience to try, make some sense and gain some understanding of what's going on.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. The Hierophant does hold some secrets and some messages, um, in their wisdom. They also are, the keys, or hold some of these keys in order to teach and pass on to, right, to others. And yeah, so in a lot, like you said, like in a lot of ways, this is exactly what you're doing, is taking some time to learn more about this, but also connect to your higher, wiser self.
Mhm.
Um, okay. I think we'll leave it there for time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'll just say this. I feel like I kind of want to hold back on that, but I'm not going to. The Hierophant also, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get a clarifier for the Hierophant here, okay?
Okay.
Because the depiction of this particular Hierophant seems a little different
Than what you would normally see.
Yeah, this one seems kinder, gentler to me. Yeah, okay. So we got 7 of Wands to clarify this card. What comes up for you there?
Looks like he's working really hard.
Mm-hmm. To do what?
Maybe build something. Just the image looks like he's building a foundation or something. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what is being depicted. I know it's kind of harder to see, but these are wands. Okay, so this is fire energy, and it's a seven. So sevens for me are choice points. Okay. He's at the top of a hill after achieving success.
Ah.
At the top of the hill after achieving success. And here are all the people that are at the bottom of the hill that once were cheering him on. And now he's having to defend. One way to look at it is he's defending his position.
That kind of reminds me of how we were talking about success earlier and being, at the top. Mm-hmm. We've got all these people looking at you.
Yeah, there could be a fear like I'm going to have to defend myself, either in what I'm learning and or if I become the wise teacher or my belief system. This is belief system too. Okay. Kind of like, do I want to go there? Because this card just was very different, but it is about a belief system.
That makes sense because, I do wonder about defending myself and what I want to do often because I'm in some ways very unconventional. And when I was learning aerial arts, and I was talking about it with my family, well, one of my aunts was like, what are you going to do? Run off and join the circus? Like very patronizing. And I was like, well, yeah, maybe I will. That would be fun.
It would be fun. Hello, Sagittarius South Node. Yes, ma'am. So you can look at this card as, do I need to defend and become defensive? Or can I remember that I have achieved success and there's nothing to defend here? Like I'm maintaining, I'm convicted. I know this is a different type of knowing, right? Like I know what is right for me.
Right
and true and ethically, morally, spiritually fulfilling on my path. Okay.
Yeah, good way to look at it.
It is, definitely. Okay. So now we're going to look at what lies behind you, which would also be sort of like the past. Okay.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. Four of Wands.
They look like they're dancing on the top of a roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the sense that you get from this card?
It seems very playful and magical.
Okay. How do you relate to that? Playful, magical.
It's very like childlike in spirit. And I can be very childlike in spirit.
Mhm. Okay. Now this is in your past position.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I guess that would be reconnecting with the past, or reconnecting who I was before other people's perceptions and demands kind of like caught up to me.
Interesting. I like that. This card is definitely considered a joyful card, a celebratory card.
Mm.
Card where I have what I have put out into the world, what I have worked for, has returned to me, and it's a time of celebration.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. You know, as I'm looking at the way the cards are all facing each other or looking at each other, I just see so much potential for success and you doing what is right for you. But let's see. So what lies ahead of you? Okay.
Okay.
What lies ahead of you?
Stop.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to pull all these down.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now we have the Knight of Wands.
That's one of the cards that came up in the reading that you that you did, connecting to my energy. But yeah, that one looks like somebody taking a leap of faith,
Mm.
jumping through
Mhm.
fun circus stuff. Because we just
Yeah. Fun circus stuff. Yeah, right? So what would that sort of indicate to you? Like what might be your next step?
the next step, I guess, would be taking some sort of action just to see what happens,
Mm.
see
Mhm.
where I end up,
Okay.
whether it if I fall or not.
Mhm. I mean, she's jumping through fire,
On a horse.
of course, right? Yeah. Under the stars. Take a leap, right? Go for it. Fire
Use all my
energy.
skills.
So this is a little bit more mature, if you will, energy. Still a beginning, and a movement towards. Then like the page. The page is kind of like a dreamy quality. And this is one. So this is your fire energy. This is going to be connected more towards your north node,
Mhm.
right? Sagittarius. What do you know about Sagittarians?
I know that my mother is a Sagittarius.
Oh boy. Yes.
my moon, my moon is Sagittarius. I really don't know a whole lot about Sagittarius, just that for me it feels chaotic.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So yes, a Sagittarian can be a person that leaps before they look, apologize. It's that classic sort of ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Mhm.
I want to be free. I want to go. I want to do. Very high energy, exploring,
Mhm.
very active, energetic. But let me read you. I'm just going to read you some keywords out of the Discovering Your Soul Mission book for you
Mhm.
to think about. as it pertains, she calls the North Node your soul potential. Okay. These will be just keywords. So we have honest, philosophical, globetrotter, loves freedom, values nature, loves animals, futuristic, goal-directed, straightforward, seeks truth, loves physicality, ethical, and our word of the day, teacher. Right? I mean, the Hierophant is also a teacher, if I didn't say that, right? If we look at the Gemini, what she calls a soul pattern, we have the shadow aspects, okay? Deceptive, nervous, always tense, unreliable, inconsistent, moody, distracted, gossipy, easily bored, unfocused, manipulative, scattered, lost in the present, and high strung.
Yeah, some of those are accurate.
Some of those, yeah, and some aren't, right? Some are not. We are going to move and try to get more integrate some of your Gemini qualities, which there's very many positive Gemini qualities, but we're really kind of trying to focus on utilizing the Sagittarian quality, right? And
because the more you lean into those, the less you see of the negative shadow aspects.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. The less you see of the negative, the less you're actually unconsciously acting from the shadow, right? It's not like we have to like erase the shadow, but we have to be aware of when it shows up and become more mindful
and not let it take over.
Yeah, and appreciate it for like, okay, so what are you showing me about myself right now?
Right.
That's one way to integrate and make friends with it, if you will. Right? Because we're humans. Okay. So to close off, I'm going to read some keywords from these two cards. If you can remember, we have Kairos.
Got the eyes.
The eyes. Yeah, I mean, perspective, right? Perspective. Okay. So as I look these up, why don't you just talk a little bit about what you overall got from today, and just kind of what do you think about this process?
It's very interesting because, like, normally when you think of tarot, you think of somebody else telling you, what the answers are and giving you the tools. When this like really challenges it to come from me, and it's difficult because I'm like, whoa, what do I think? It does really help me learn to trust my intuition and my first thoughts, because I'm the one that's having to kind of interpret in a way.
Yeah. Okay. We don't want anybody, then becoming the gatekeeper to our own intuition. I mean, there is Gemini knowledge to learn about tarot, but then there's also wisdom and experience in your Sagittarian side, right? And we all have all of this Sagittarian Gemini stuff within our chart, right? Somewhere. But we don't need gatekeeping either with tarot and intuition in particular. Okay. So some key words. We have mythic time and synchronicity. Go.
We're talking about that.
That's right. She has compared the Greek words chronos and kairos. This will guide you to an understanding of logos and mythos. I cannot tell you what that is, what she's talking about. Let's But you can look those words up if you want to. Okay.
Yeah.
Those concepts up. The word evil comes from the root unripe. Consider that everything has a time of ripeness. When it becomes a nourishing fruit, sweet to the lips. So kind of like divine timing here, right? What we're looking at.
Right.
Divine timing is not how we conceive of time.
Right. It's
is you have
when it's time, when the universe thinks it's time.
That's right. So you can just start taking steps, potentially. You can start jumping through these hoops. When light, alignment, ease in decisions and action. When dark, or in the shadow, fighting against time. Okay, so we'll leave that there. All right. Can't get any clearer than that. Like that's what we're talking about, right? All right. And
the cards have spoken.
Your guides and your higher self has spoken as well, right? Mm-hmm. See if I can find the bard. This kind of here it is. I don't even know what a bardo is, so I didn't know which category to look at. 163. This is a little bit like death. Let's see. The liminal. Okay, so the in-between, the transition.
Transition period, enjoying the journey.
Yeah. The bardo is not to be feared. Take advantage of its energy by recognizing what needs to be resolved. Trust that there is a message for you from beyond. Who is speaking? Go ahead and listen. Who is speaking? Destiny?
Myself. My heart's speaking.
Yeah. Heart, soul, higher, wiser self. Mm-hmm. When the veil between this life and the next is thinned, energy is stirred. This allows for remarkable healing and vision. It's two eyes, right? Higher perspective. When light, spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, and truth. Did that other one say truth too? And when dark, torment, dislocation, hallucination, and transience. Interesting.
Very interesting.
How do you make sense of those cards?
I've already forgotten what the first one was, but
Kairos, time, synchronicity. Okay.
Time and synchronicity. Another one was like transience, and it would be listening to who's speaking, or which would be myself. So I guess it would really just be paying close attention to the messages I'm getting from myself as I experience new things and walk through life.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a lot of things came up. I'm going to send you pictures. Okay. So that you can take some time to reflect more. I'll ask you to journal. Okay. Be prepared to talk about what you journaled as an intro to the next time that we meet.
Right.
And let's see, anything else that you need to know. And see if you can find a way every day to do a little bit of this.
Taking a leap.
Mm-hmm. It's without thinking.
Right.
It's like this person has almost no fear of what all this is about.
That makes sense. Because I mean, if she had fear, she wouldn't have leapt.
Mm-hmm. So, I'd want you to think about real, tangible, measurable action steps to move in the direction that you are dreaming about. It's just a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it has to move from dream to action.
Right.
Okay. And then you get more information. And then when you get more information based in experience, you can decide what's the next step.
Right. Okay.
So every day I want you to journal, put down one thing that you did that was this. And then we'll talk about that. Okay.
And I do apologize if I ever step into counseling territory, because I'm like so self-critical sometimes that I start thinking about those things.
No. No need to apologize. I want you to know that because I am trained, I am a counselor.
Right.
I am equipped to hold a space for you if you want to talk.
Right.
But you can take anything that you got here back into counseling with your counselor as well. You do not have to worry about where you go. I want you to know that you're okay. And that if something comes up, let's say something comes up, a card comes up and it reminds you of something and it's painful and it brings a tear and then you start to talk more. If you decide after our recording that you don't want that part in, I will get it.
Gotcha.
Either we'll throw the whole session out or we'll just cut it out. I don't know how to do that yet, but see, I'm in this mode right now.
The jumping through.
Yeah, with this particular project, I'm in this mode. I will learn as I go, and I cannot be afraid anymore.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I feel is part of my. It's the right timing. I don't know. I just like it's here. So, no perfection. Okay. Okay. I will see you. So I'll see you next week. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Stay on here. I'm going to stop the recording. Stay on here for just 1 second.
Okay.
But I do want to thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. This has been fun and for me. And I really appreciate you being a part of my journey as well. Okay.
You're welcome.
Stop and then we'll make our appointment. Pause, stop. Let's do that.